This video shows you how to connect a terminal to a device through the console port in order to set up a configuration environment on the device. When powering on a device for the first time, you are advised to log in to the device through the console port for configuration and management. Some models of NetEngine series routers need to be logged in to through the console port when powered on for the first time. Before logging in to a device through the console port, make sure you have a PC with a terminal emulation program installed and a serial cable for establishing a physical connection. The terminal emulation program used in this example is PuTTY. Before logging in to the device through the console port, you need to establish a physical connection. First of all, power on the device and ensure that it passes the self-check. Then, use the serial cable to connect the COM port on the PC to the console port on the active main control board of the device. The board on which the ACT or ACTC indicator is steady on is the active main control board. Start PuTTY on the PC. In the PuTTY configuration dialog box, choose Serial from the navigation pane. In the configuration window that is displayed, set port communication parameters. The parameters for the terminal emulation program must be set to the default values of the physical attributes for the device. Otherwise, logging in to the device fails. The settings in this example are for reference only. In real-world applications, set the port communication parameters based on the default values of the physical attributes on the device upon the first login. After completing the configuration, click Open. When the serial cable is properly connected, the login page is displayed, prompting you to set an authentication password. If you forget the console port login password, refer to the video "What if I forget the console port login password of a NetEngine series router?" to set a new password. To restrict the device access rights of different users, you can specify a user level in the user interface view of the console port for hierarchical user management. This helps improve device management security. Specifically, you first need to enter the user interface view of the console port. Then, run the user privilege level 1 command to set the user level to 1. A user that has logged in to the device can use only the commands at the same or lower level than the user level. If the command level configured for a user interface conflicts with the user level configured for a user, the configured user level takes precedence. Finally, run the commit command to commit the configuration. Note that this operation must be performed to change the user level before you configure a user to log into the device through Telnet or SSH. To improve device security, you can configure a user authentication mode. The device supports both AAA and password authentication. Password authentication may not be secure, and so AAA authentication is strongly recommended. This example uses AAA authentication. First, enter the user interface view of the console port. Then, set the user authentication mode to AAA. After completing the preceding configuration, exit the user interface view of the console port. Next, enter the AAA view and configure a local username and password. After configuring the password, run the commit command to commit the configuration. Note that you must perform this operation to configure a user authentication mode before configuring a user to log into the device through Telnet or SSH. Thank you for watching.